Addiction thinks in circles, whereas invention thinks in spirals.
Yes. Yes,
And
yes,
I
yes.
love it. And spiral is not one dot, it's actually one seed becoming bigger and bigger and bigger
Mhm.
and bigger and bigger and bigger.
So I'm grateful for that. And then two, just the pain just reminding me like this body is so amazing.
Where else can you go
Hmm.
other than inside? And
Hmm.
when you're so almost like forced to face yourself, you find lots of love. It is so dark where you are.
Do you want me? I can turn the light up.
Oh no, it's perfect. Look at our dualities.
Yeah. I'm wearing a black shirt today too.
Why are you so devilish? Ugh.
Arr.
Hi.
Morning.
Listen, where have you been?
What do you what do you mean?
Well, just
Because
to
we're not.
serve it to you for the morning. You've been gone for 7 days.
Yeah.
Why did you just disappear in my life?
Yeah. Yeah. Usually we text a lot more, huh? Uh,
Yeah.
Um,
You good?
yeah, everything's good.
I've been watching Sex and the City again for the five millionth time,
Uh-huh.
which is interesting because have you seen it ever? Do you really care?
Um, I think my mom used to watch it.
Okay, you haven't. So, but it's dynamic between what women wants and what men will do. It's a typical role relationship, but it's funny and it's kind of witty. And she's always needing this. She's always like coming in and needing something, and he's
Hmm.
always like giving up to try to even fight her.
Yeah.
So, I came to you almost like the same way, like she would come to him. And it's like, where have you been? Like, do you know I exist? Like, why
Yeah.
didn't you? I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that. So,
Yeah.
hi,
We were at
how are you?
the we were at the hot ponds last night by the ocean, and I was just like taking in all the nature. And wherever I ended up, Carly would come up to me. She's like, "Hi, hi, isn't this great? Isn't this amazing?" And I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, sometimes in the quiet, that's when I'm seeing it the most clearly. And then I mean, we also have moods, right? Where I'm more needy or I'm wanting to talk about everything. So why I
Seasons.
didn't reach out to you, I don't know.
Ah,
Just
who cares?
didn't come up. Who
We're all
cares?
gonna die. And
Are you okay?
yeah, I just finished
Okay.
the practicum. But what's interesting? We're all gonna die anyway. It's just a matter of time. Die out. And this 33 is perfect to talk about it.
Hmm.
Did you just read it or did
I
you
did.
have you read?
It's fresh.
Me too. I'm excited about it. What do you feel about this?
This feels like one where I maybe only tapped the surface.
Mm.
Sometimes with Jinkies, I'm like, I think I'll come back to it at another time and be like, wow, I missed a lot. Ironic that it's about forgetting and mindfulness. How about you?
Yeah. Um, I loved the city.
Hmm.
I love the city. I love the city. I laughed at Gift because it's all about the Vipassana.
Hmm.
And um, I kind of felt contraction with Shadow. And I was like, I need to know who has this. So I pulled everyone's jinkies that I know that I've done the astrology charts on as well. That I looked curiously for the jinkies, and I only found one.
Hmm.
It's my cousin,
Hmm.
actually. My cousin that has it because it speaks about something that pains me as Pisces, and maybe you can also. I don't know, I'm curious about your perspective about it, is that that this shadow of forgetting brings such a imprisonment inside of us. It's almost like it's heart-wrenching
Mm.
to know someone or to see someone. And I, again, I don't know if this is true and how my cousin is perceiving this or living this, but it's the example that I can kind of almost like bounce off of. And it's her radiance. And I have
Oh.
talked to her over and over again, and I can see that now she was always curious to find, what am I reading? What, she would always listen to me, like talk about different levels or, different ways of thinking or feeling and life and living and taking chances and being your voice and being unique and stand for something. And she would always find this fascinating. But now, and she's like, okay, let me see what I feel like reading. And
Mm-hmm.
now she reads Stoicism,
Mm-hmm.
just like stoic ways of, this is it. This keeps me safe.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go out. And she is a couple of years younger than me, and I love her so much, but there's nothing I can do, right? So it's almost like I am learning how to let go of trying to fix or trying to correct
Mm-hmm.
anyone's ways. But this shadow fell so hard on me to read because I couldn't, like, there's so much love inside of me for everyone to that I wish for everyone to experience the expansion rather than imprisonment, because I feel suffocating. But just reading this shadow made me feel like choked up in my throat, my heart
Mm-hmm.
closed. I feel my entire body kind of just like, ooh, freaked out, like freaked out.
Yeah. Same here. And funny enough, this week, and maybe that's why I had some distance and feeling contentment within myself, is like in the middle of the week, I have a friend that's coming by and she's just scattered a little bit and maybe distracted. And from my perspective, it's like like just sit down with me for an hour and I'll help you find clarity and we can move forward. And like I just have this strong desire, like because when you see magic in someone or when you see like potential and you
Mm.
just want to pull it out, right? And that desire is so strong, but in like approaching that topic with her, there was a physical reaction where she would distance herself from me. She would find a way to like walk away and be over there while still like talking. So we're like talking at each other. And the physical distance helped me to recognize like she's not ready. Whatever, whatever ready looks like, I can't know it. And, and also, of course, I have to check my ego because maybe my vision for her is just a projection. It has nothing to do with her life path and what she's meant to do. Um, but and then two other friends like also struggling with clarity and wanting to like reorient the vision for their lives. And I'm like, this is what I do. And I threw it out there. I'm like, yeah, I'm struggling right now because this is what I do, and to not be seen for the potential. I think sometimes as a Pisces, like
Oh.
we want people to see that we can and that we have and that we've been there and that we know. And um yeah, so I went through that this week and then came around the other side and just was admitting to myself like I really, really strongly want to be seen for the gifts that I have, and not everyone can see it.
Mm.
So how do I still place myself in the world without then retreating? Because this is my old pattern and my shadows is okay, I'm not being seen for it. So let me retreat because there's nothing for me out here. And yeah, it's related, I think, in the forgetting with this shadow because it's like I almost want to pull it up. Yeah, it's all about relationships. There are always certain people in your life to whom you are so strongly drawn that you sometimes feel you remember them from somewhere. And that's that karmic bond and the cellular memory. And it's like it shows up and it shows up for me as like I need you
Mm.
and there's some gap or some barrier. It's the love and the hate that comes in and the relationship itself is there not so that I can solve all your problems and you can be like, Eric's amazing. Let me talk about how great you are. But for the greater aspects of myself to be revealed through the struggle, through like the desire itself. And so, yeah, I found this shadow very interesting. Like the desires are the sanskaras, and when you, how did he word it? Like when you the desire to escape the Maya begins your process of awakening and it begins to unwind them. And it's like as you unwind them, maybe you can give me clarity on what was said here, but it's like you
Yeah.
remember deeper parts and then you forget again.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a rabbit trail. Sorry.
No, I love it. And I want to dissect it a little bit. Can we?
Hmm.
Okay. So what you explained was that you had this almost like it sounds like you have met with sankharas. Well, actually, you have experienced sankharas that came in a blip of a moment when you met another that you have may have known someplace else, past lives, karmic. Maybe
Hmm.
the encounter happened for you to experience yourself as a possibility or ability that has ability to touch someone so deeply and profoundly that can evolve them immediately. But this has nothing actually to do with them. It has to do with your own awareness.
Hmm.
And because there was no immediate or reciprocal way of exchange,
Hmm.
this is where we create sankharas because we actually attach to it and we want something to it. That wanting and desire to act out of the gift that we just came up to, this is sensation. You've probably felt like, oh my God, this is me.
Hmm.
Like, I know this. And he just happened to kind of tap that into you that you wanted to react to it. So the whole point of Vipassana is actually not to react.
Hmm.
And the moment we react is when we create another sankhara, which is another karmic lineage because of our reaction towards that desire.
Hmm.
And desire actually is floating out of awareness or realization or revelation. And these things, how I understand this key, is almost like there's a split second awareness, a split second of memory that comes inside of us as you almost,
The revelation.
yeah, you almost want to burst. So your eyes become big, you become aware, you become just hyper aware, split second.
Hmm.
And then the sankharas in Vipassana are recreated when we attach to that sensation, that of out of which we want to react and hold on to fix others, to show the world, can you see?
Hmm.
I feel this. Can't you feel it?
Yeah.
And that is what creates sankharas. That is what creates the karmic cycles. And I remember when I read this, I remembered vividly when I went to the teacher in Vipassana, and I was like, I touched the bliss. And I don't even know, was it a bliss? And usually, I mean, if I can explain it with words, then it was not,
Oh,
right?
yeah, 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 right.
It's like if I can say it in a human word, then it was nothing related to it. And she's like, be careful, you're attaching.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful, you're attaching. And that means to me, it's like, shit. And I literally just
Yeah.
said, shit. So I'm
Yeah.
creating another karma and another karma for me to learn from how to tap into it. So was this close to what you felt? And just that split second of revealing your memory?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It had a more subtle quality because it was like, oh, it's just a relationship. This is a friend. And it was just talking about business or their life. It didn't seem like, because I've had the moment too with like, okay, meditation, having like an experience. And the guest we had on for Gene Key 20, I would, at that time in my life, I was going to her with like my dreams and my experiences and meditations. And she would say the same sort of things like, be careful or watch out or are you sure? Like, that's a really good one. Or I'm like, what do you mean? Am I sure? I just told you this amazing experience I had. And she's like, are you sure? I'm like, stop. Let me have it. Um,
Let me attach to it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but interesting also how this programming partner is the 19, the codependence, because I that
Yeah.
like that showed up and I felt it. And it's like in codependence, wanting to have wanting to be seen. And then yeah. So in Vipassana, it's not about reacting.
It's all about not reacting.
Yeah. And in the moment, the trick is, at least in this recent experience, is I had to acknowledge that I was reacting first so I could stop reacting to the reaction to the reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is prolonged suffering, which
Yeah.
is the how we actually suffer. We suffer in reaction.
Hmm.
But then we can't even stop. Damn it.
Yeah.
And it's like you said it exactly to a T. I'm reacting to what I just reacted, and then I keep reacting, reacting, reacting until whatever, I stop reacting. And it sucks to admit it.
Hmm. Yeah. Especially when,
Mm.
it's this karmic relationship where you feel like deep in your soul, like, no, like this is supposed to be more than it is currently. And it's amount of, it's an issue of effort and my ability to make them see. Like, but play that out. And I would push her away. That's what'll happen. Most likely. I mean, I don't know what'll happen, but
Oh, because you wanted it so bad. Exactly.
it's like, yeah,
Exactly.
if I go to the extreme of what's what the feeling is, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna find yourself alone.
Oh my God. It's such a good example. You actually reminded me of one of my potential clients, and I met her on Vipassana. And while we were talking, we just exchanged the truth. And this is
Hmm.
the truthful experience of life. And she was just couldn't believe what I was saying. And she's like, that's what I need. Like, what do you do? And then I never even said that I'm doing any type of coaching. I just kept speaking out of the experience, like me. And I literally only talked about how I experienced it, how I evolved my way of thinking about it, almost changed the narrative. And she's like, I really need that. So we had a discovery call.
Hmm.
And I was so excited for it.
Yeah.
Eric. Oh my God. I was like thrilled. I was
Yeah.
ecstatic. I was so pumped. I was so hyper about it. I was like, oh my God, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love it. And she, and even I walked her even through the entire practice, and the 30-minute turnout, an hour and a half of us talking, and she never came back.
Yeah.
Never. And she was ready to invest largely, but I wasn't, it was more excited about showing her this, oh my
Hmm.
God, this, not about investment and money but that scared her away. So let me ask you
Hmm.
this. When these revelations happen, when these discoveries in us happen, how hard are you finding it easy or hard to let go of it? Literally, just say, you know what? I said this and I let go. Like I like to say, I'm leaving it to the universe and I don't want to do anything with it. I literally want to wash my
Yeah.
hands off of it. And like, I don't want to even be attached to it. And I've been saying this lately, like a lot. I find myself saying this, like, listen, I think we're going to create something together. And I just let it to the universe. And I was like, and from now on, we're not going to talk about this ever again. Don't want to do anything with it. I'm almost like refusing to do anything with it. And I'm just letting it in
Hmm.
the ether for it to evolve. Do you find this hard to do?
Yeah, extremely hard. And we come up with strategies to deal with it. And yours is like borderline passive aggressive, and never mind. We're not doing nothing's gonna happen. Um, but I find like when you ask the question, I find like I'm like getting a little itchy, my lower back is like tightening. I'm having the physical reaction to even look back at that moment of like elation and ecstasy and then wanting to share it and not being reciprocated. So even you asking the question it's constricting. It's showing how difficult it is. Where like you're saying, like I just want to let go. And I'm like, you ask the question and my temptation is to say, uh, what do you mean? There's nothing there. Why would we look? Which is, you know, ultimately, I hope I can come back to the present as much as possible. So maybe this is
Exactly
where
the
it's
key.
bringing us. Yeah.
That's where Vipassana teach. That's exactly where Vipassana teaches to come back to the present, into the body, and feel, and just literally just notice how you feel in the body. That's all. That's all. And it's so hard. And it's practice again and again and again. It actually, there's no other way around it other than coming back to the present moment of what are you feeling
Yeah.
and not reacting to it.
Yeah. Which is easier said than done.
You're like, I feel so embarrassed. Let me just sit with this.
Yeah. Yeah. And oh my gosh. I'm like, let's move into gift now? Because I'm getting uncomfortable. Because I'm thinking about, we have, for me, it's with relationships. And I don't know if it's, yeah, it's like there's just people where I'm like, I have such a keen intuition that there's more and we're not tapping it. And as a Pisces, I will go so deep and I want to go so deep. And it's really about like how much experience is available and that desire to plumb the depths of like, what is this life? And then to have someone that you're feeling like a connection with, and then for them to be shallow or show up shallow or to not see it. And you feel like you are coming down from the peak of the mountain and you meet someone who's just kind of wandering. And then they every once in a while they mention like it would be nice to see the top of the mountain and you're like, I know how to get there. I can show you. And they're like, well, I have things to do here. I have this over here. I'm distracted by this. And you're like, I know that's what you want and I know how to get you there. And it's like you have to just, okay, I'm gonna keep walking down the mountain or up or back up to the top, whatever it is, and let you and just leave it. It's so hard.
Okay. But let me ask you this potential that you saw in the individual, is it really hers or is it yours?
How how dare you? Yeah.
All these feelings inside of you are your feelings.
Yeah.
And I almost like dare you to think that all of this you saw in someone else is literally actually your own potential. You just discovered your own feeling of your potential
Hmm.
to feel, to lead, to feel, to be so, to know.
Hmm. Yeah. And of course, because in karmic relationships, you go through stages of evolution because of the triggers, not because of your like how great you are, you know. So it's almost like similar to Carly, like we come together, we trigger the shit out of each other, and we evolve over time, we grow from it. So when I see a being, like when I met you, I'm like, okay, I don't think we're a karmic relationship because we're not, I mean, occasionally we have our moments, but it's very light, it's very flow, it's very easy. We come together and we create and then we carry on. But when I first saw this person, it was just like there's just magnetic qualities. And then I left it, you know, just and then because of our kids are the same age, we live in the same island, it's a small place, we have similar interest, keeps showing up, the relationship deepens. And then it's like at this culmination point because she's in a stage of deep transformation, of opening, going through a divorce. Um, like she's like awakening, she's having these experiences, and then she's coming to us with like questions of, you know, like unpacking the difficulties, unpacking the trials. And so it's it's almost like what yeah, I'm trying to like walk myself through what you just said. You said it in a sentence, and I almost like need to unpack it for myself because it seems too simple, and I'm trying to like unlock it.
Okay, well, do you want to do it? Let's do
Yeah,
it.
let's go.
Okay. So let's call it an intimate connection. An intimate in this case doesn't mean you have to be body to body, sexually intertwined. You're talking when something touches you so much. And that's so intimate because it brings you this, it awakens you. It almost like it gives you this nudge inside of you. And the exchange with this person is penetrating that nudge, almost like, and it doesn't need to be karmic. Like I don't see it only as karmic. In Tantra, everything is meant to be, right? So the bad, the good, the twin flames, you name it. We can just name these things, but it doesn't need to be, it doesn't need to be abrupt and disruptive, but it nudges you. It almost like brings you sharp awareness about some process is happening inside of you. It turns on, it switches something inside and inside of you. And we automatically are going to, connect that with that person one or
Hmm.
the other way. you saved me. You're my soulmate. You gave me this like space and lightened me. You triggered me. You brought me to tears. Like there's an exchange between the two. So our mind has to find the subject out of which everything is causation, right? So out of which our reaction and domino effect became.
Mm.
But let me just give you another example, another perspective. When I am making love to a partner, I close my eyes. I am no longer identifying because I cannot explain myself, right? So we are in
Mm.
a total silence, total surrender. And here in my body, I feel my truth. I can be strong. I can have a quality of surrendering. I can have the quality of initiating. I can have the potential coming in. I can sense myself as I play with this other soul, energy, body, and heart. We are kind of almost like tuned into the same frequency, but we're two different experiences. And I will never, until the end of me, know her experience. I can only know mine. So when I engage with you in the conversation or with the stranger, yesterday just happened in the restaurant. I'm like, she can explain herself to me. My partner can tell me what she feels.
Yeah.
You can explain yourself, but really, that is not my experience.
Hmm.
My experience is me becoming larger because you happen to be in my field and you happen to be the one actually gifting me this. And then
Hmm.
I become aware of, oh my God, I can die in ecstasy. But that doesn't mean it's her experience.
Yeah.
She's just sitting there and she's like, okay, in that right moment, I felt I can surrender. And to me, I felt like I can die. I
Mm.
can dilute. My body just dissolved. My skin just became numb. Like I had a totally different experience.
Hmm.
So, in the case where we think, we feel this alertness, this awareness of, oh my God, I want to help you. It almost like 10 out of 10 is not their experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And 10 out of 10, all what we wish to gift is what we wish to live.
Mm.
All what I wish to teach you is what I need to learn.
Right. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
interesting that you are going through this thing because I remember your pearl is all about finding this and letting go,
Finding.
finding the potential, choosing where your intuition and energy is guiding you, right? Being very selective of who you spend, give, and allow your energy to flow towards.
Right.
And almost like learning how to let go of it and not control it because you might have initiated something in her that is absolutely profoundly beneficial for her experience and evolution. And you will never know.
Mm.
But she also gifted you something, which is this urge,
Yeah.
sense of action.
Yeah. And I like how you brought in Tantra and the concept of expansion because those two, the Tantra is like the awakening of awareness, like the surge of energy, and then the expansion is like all of a sudden my field has moved out and there's a bunch of unknown here that I'm trying to close because it's uncomfortable. And then two, thank you for bringing in the pearl because it's giving me the perspective. Because ultimately, like the shadow that's coming up, the temptation is like arrogance. Like I know, and I must bring you in. And then also the line four of like being charitable in, like you said, something's coming up. I'm going to share it, and then I'm going to let it go. Like that is charity, right? It's like not having the attachment of the outcome or the expectation.
That's true leadership.
Thank you
That's
so much.
truthful leadership.
This is good. It's I like when the shadows are personalized and you can coach me through them live.
Oh, I mean, I'm not coaching you. I think we're both
Whatever.
discovering this.
We'll leave
I'm not,
it.
I can't. But like, I also am realizing my potential while I talk to you the same exact way and how I speak to you, right? It's almost like I want to sometimes cry when this love for you comes through the forms of words that I will never be able to tell you if we just talked about it. It's like, tell me how much you love me. I was like, fuck off. Like, I can't tell you that way, right? But it comes through, this is where that for memory. And he placed it so well because it is the memory of who we deeply are. And
Mm,
those qualities inside of us, those tender qualities of being human and living in that connection. And in that connection, not attaching to it, actually learning. Because I don't know how to do that all the time either. Learning. See, I just yelled at you at the beginning. Where have you been for the entire 7 days? I attached, but learning how to let go and really not expect you to show up, actually. Though I want it,
hmm
but to allow you freedom and to live with it, to learn how to live with letting you
hmm
go, to evolve in your own. And that way of loving is like process. And I don't know how to do it, but I'm not like born with it. I have to constantly come back to it. But this feels true to me, feels liberating to liberate you.
hmm
Mm.
55.
And it's also my new podcast is coming about love, lovers, and lovemaking with Denise today. And this is all
Mm.
we were talking about. When we met, we talked about, let's talk about the ending. And we're not going to actually, we know this is going to end. Let's just be clear and crystal clear. This is the only time that we have. And
hmm
we actually met like that. And we have carried over for good like year later, or like, yeah, exactly a year almost. We carried over again and again, finding the way
hmm
back. And it's just like, let's just first agree to let go, and then we're gonna complete an end.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, that's lovely. It's similar to how we spoke, I think like four or five, Jinky 4 or 5, we were like, yeah, this might not be this, we might not finish, or you could leave tomorrow and I never hear from you again. And it's okay. And it's a beautiful way to frame it. And I think having the structure of a podcast helps us to play out that game a little bit. And then now I'm thinking, how can I bring this into my life where I go in with each new experience and then tantrically like open and say, it's just here. It's just whatever this is, releasing expectation.
100%. And there's ingredients: space, devotion. Keep coming back to it, even
Yeah.
when we didn't want it, even when it's like those are like, but we didn't come back to it because it required something from us. We came to it because we had freedom and space,
hmm
and we flowed. Like we didn't, there was no construct, there was no identification, there was nothing. It was actually just space that we entered in, and then we allowed it to shape us
hmm
differently.
hmm
That's such a gift. And you're right, you brought it back in your life. I brought it back in mine. And out of which now there's so much that can come in because I understand how I feel in space like this. We
hmm
gave it good enough time. We are still giving it. Like it's gonna turn to years worth of creating space to feel the nervous system, to learn how to ask me to learn how I feel in this space, concrete, steady, and to find the truth of, oh, this actually is benefiting me.
hmm
It just takes time.
hmm I have a theory.
Mm.
Who knows if it's provable or not, but I want to know, does this resonate for you? When
Mm.
you are in this, I mean, maybe we call it contentment, like the ability to be and not have attachment. And also there's like a sense of neutrality because if if you say this could end or we could die or and you're fully accepting of it, then like the X like what do you call it? Like the almost manic like desire and the strength of how you're showing up. It's tempered by the end that's right there. Like as soon as we're done with this conversation, or if you get pulled away, or if someone calls us, there's an emergency, then we're done. When you're in that space, do you feel, or are there signs that you are more magnetic?
I think I think the space that you're talking about is whole presence
Mm-hmm.
in that moment with that person.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually talked about this with Denise. She explained polyamory. And I
Mm-hmm.
understand polyamory differently by being present. And I even teased her and I said, you can only kiss one mouth at the time. You
Yeah.
can only look into one eye at that time. And I can only be present with that person. So it takes two, it doesn't take five. And then when my presence is done with you, I can move on to the new lover and to the new way of being present. And what she is explaining is like I am able to be present 7 times with 7 different people every day. And I'm exaggerating the number, right? But to me, and then we talked about this like hours after the podcast, and we talked about this extensively. I was like, this is this is almost like ruining everything that people know about. I can't be present with more than 2 people a day. I have no capacity. I don't know how to do that. But when I'm fully with you, you actually feel me. You
Mm-hmm.
feel that I'm with you, I'm listening, I'm present with you. You also feel that quality of being seen and heard. And you also expressed, right? So I'm giving you the space to enter in my space so that way you can express yourself together with me. You're also having this feeling of opening up for me to enter your space. And that's the presence. And in that presence, we don't talk about the future or our past. So
Mm-hmm.
she can do it multiple times throughout the day, throughout the week, and handle multiple relating and connections in her present moments. I can relate in intimate relationships with one person, which makes me monogamous. But I can only relate in this lifetime, I am polyamorous because I had
Right.
many different connections. So it's the same exact thing. It's just the capacity to hold multiplicity of it, to be able to be present fully and wholly. So much so that you can feel my heart, my suffering, my shadows, my gifts with you only. And
Mm-hmm.
you feel you belong home. You feel that you want that. Like you feel that you found your home. Right? That's how I experience it. Like, and she feels home is a lot of homes.
Yeah.
And it's not wrong. It's just she has capacity to do that. She is
Yeah.
able. I am not able yet. I don't know will I ever be able. That's what makes me unique and that's what makes her unique.
Mm-hmm.
So, did I answer your question? Because I totally kind of misguided a little bit.
Not really, but I love the rabbit trail.
And
Um,
what was the question? Because I want to answer your
do
question.
you feel more magnetic in the presence?
Uh-huh. Yes. So, when I am inside of me, experiencing myself and through almost like awareness of the force coming through my body, I can only feel it in that moment. I don't know that I'm magnetized, but what I feel and what I hear is I am a attractor.
Yeah.
I attract towards me
Mm-hmm.
something that I just play a role of someone else's potential.
Mm-hmm.
So you see in me what you have in you. Otherwise, you would not see it.
It's
So,
like, yeah, because your
yeah,
capacity for space is so much bigger than the other person can see the reflection back in them. Versus if you're holding like so strongly to an idea or an outcome, there's no mirror happening. There's no potential to be seen.
yeah. And you also don't feel you have space to enter,
Right.
to feel. Or you're almost like you're almost entering the field to feel how that feels like. And then you're kind of creating a story about it. And it can go both sides, right? It can either go, oof, you resent it so much, it triggers you, you kind of get so pumped up by it, or you feel excited and you're kind of feeling like you want to try it too.
Mm,
But we can't, I always say, I can't give you the advice. I can really only and only do, I can only be me. And
hmm
if that is a good enough example, until it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So you and I both don't really look up to live someone else's story because we recognize that that's their story and we have to find our own into the unknown. And I think that trust inside really opens that magnetism and field where people just sense that memory lives inside of them. Mark
mm,
Gaffney talks about this in Unique Self. And you and I both got triggered differently for Aubrey Marcus's podcast. But that
hmm
has nothing to do with that. It actually had to do with some potential inside of us that lives
Yeah.
either as a shadow or as a whatever state. But something got triggered. Why was he hitting the nerve so profoundly, so activating, right? So it's like there must be something inside. And this is where all of this bullshit
hmm
came out into the world. But not bullshit, but projections and defend and protection. But rather it's the recognition. It's that moment of, oh, I am actually part of me just came alive to my awareness. I'm able to understand myself. And if I'm working with it inside of it, something happens when I accept myself so much. And the moment of acceptance is where magnetism happens. I
mm.
think. I don't know. You tell me. Do you experience people that are magnetic and not charming, but I don't know how that feels like from the outside.
You don't know anyone that's magnetic? Or how do you
I
mean?
know. I didn't meet a human person who was alluring me to become like them. But I met a human who teaches. So it
Mm,
almost like I find the different energy magnetic, and that energy activates me so much that, like, I'm now reading the Tantra because from the retreat, I have gone into my yin a lot inside of my body and I just felt very different. So there's so much awareness that is happening in my body. And I was like, I'm now drawn to Tantric teachings. And I'm like,
mm,
I need to. And I can't help it. And I'm almost attaching to it, but I need to discover it. I have this like frantic, manic, like possessive, obsessive way of looking at it. I've never felt that from a human being.
yeah.
No. Like, and if I did, I only met them once and I never saw them again.
Hmm
Good enough just for them to give me that example and sample. But I saw myself in them. I recognized part of me in them.
hmm How are you approaching the Tantra? What works or authors or
Oh, I'm currently reading this. Christopher Wallace, Tantra Illuminated, it actually speaks about the left side, the philosophy, history, and practice of timeless tradition. I'm eating alive this book, and I can't stop it. And I think I'm ready for the deeper level of understanding, which is why I'm so obsessed with love and
yeah.
Rumi and Hafiz and Sufism. And I'm like,
hmm
oh my God, I am in a bliss. Let me rephrase, not that state. I don't know what that feels like. Almost like I am very curious
hmm
about this love that is penetrating my heart at the moment.
Hmm. It's beautiful. Osho's he's got the Zen way of approaching Tantra. So
Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me show you. I was thinking this morning. I was thinking this morning maybe this can be our next book.
oh wow. Which one is this? Book of Secrets.
I don't know. It's a
Is this just the
thousand.
meditations or it's also the explanation?
It's a 1,200 pages books, but honestly, I don't know. I just got it. It says, okay, it's 112 meditations to discover the mystery within.
hmm Yeah, I have he has an orange book, which is only like a tenth of that. And it's like 2 pages are devoted to this is the technique and then go try it. So I'm curious. I mean, my friend Diane would know exactly what's in that book, but yeah, you got me curious now.
See? But we still have a year and a half to get through this. So, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. Oh, I want to touch
Uh,
on something.
yep.
Your the sacred exchange of one to one. We tentatively agreed to open that up, at least on the podcast forum last week. So I
Yeah.
just want to, similar to like, if this isn't working and we need to carry on and we need to kill the Gene Keys podcast, that's fine. If we bring people in and it's weird, or you're like, I miss the old format, just let me know. Because I think on 35, I have a friend that wants to join for that one. So
Totally. And we're waiting for Melissa to join too.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think that's so good. And it would be really good to have someone else give us different perspective because you and I can get lost.
Yeah.
Happily
Happily
float.
lost.
Happily lost. Um, have you met, do you get encounters with magnetism in people often?
Mm. Um, it's a tricky question because it goes back to I'm only saying this because you brought the awareness to me already this morning, but if I'm honest with myself, it's about my own potential. It's about something that's arising within me. So the question of like, have you met people that are magnetic? It's like I've met people in certain like elements, certain frames where in that state of them and then of me, I was magnetized to that potential. But um like how do I say this? Okay. So the woman that we had on the podcast for 20, we were at the event and there's 1,000 people and I kept looking over and they stand out in a crowd for sure. It was her and her friend. But it wasn't, I mean, there's a lot to look at like a festival where women are just in like a leotard or whatever, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's lights on the stage, there's all this. And I kept just finding myself like looking over. And then how we came to become engaged is like a pretty wild story, but because it was wild and like magical, it's almost the temptation arises to be like you see like we're meant to be friends, we're meant to help each other, we're meant to do this. And how interesting in like just releasing the story behind it or the potential that we think is there. It's the honest truth is in that moment it was magnetic. And outside of that, there were moments when it wasn't magnetic, when it was like a deep pushing. It was like it felt really awkward.
Mhm.
So yeah, just to bring it back to when I see it in other people, it's usually with the awareness that you gave me today, it's something within myself. Well, kind of what I was pointing at with like, do you feel magnetic when you're in presence? Is when I can drop into a state of presence, I find like the right people show up or the right conversations happen or the chance meetings occur. And that to me is like, I'm like, okay, I want to multiply this. I want to like expand this 10 times where it's just happening every day. And
Mm,
then the attachment to that removes the magnetism. And then I go back to like letting go. Such a
totally.
game, the forgetting.
Really cool. I mean, but thank you for sharing. That's well said. It's almost like the moment your mind wants to do everything in a power to attach to it and desire it more and more and more and more and more. But those states are just free. They're full of freedom to show up and disappear. They're
Mm-hmm.
so powerful that they can be, they have they have freedom to just vanish and they vanish. And we have to learn how to, that's the lesson. I think that it's hard until we have our mind acting the way it acts, to let go of such beautiful, magical, so much blissful and pleasurable moments.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say, I really want to give you a hug right now.
No, then give me the hug.
All
Yeah.
right, I'll book the ticket.
And you know what else it reminded me when I was in retreat? So I connect with a lot of people and with a lot of souls. And in this case, I did exactly the same. I keep turning towards one woman entire retreat, and I was just like, I just need to know, where is she? And I'm like, I need to look. I had this like pull, almost like in the middle of the practice. I would come to look and try to find her. I enter the shala and we're looking. And though I knew where she was, I seeked her. I longed
Mm-hmm.
to connect with her. And I never did.
Mm-hmm.
And that was such a beautiful, like painful thing to
Mm-hmm.
experience. And actually I did connect with because I carried the book and she was just like really interested and we just talked for hours and that was it. But had this like painful desire to connect deeply with her. And I experienced this inside of me with her, with no
Mm-hmm.
other woman other than with her. And she could care less.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like in her own world. It's really, she didn't even notice me.
Yeah.
But I wondered, why is this coming out of me? And she just happened to be my object, or her energy happened to initiate this inside of me. So what inside of me wants to do this exact experience? It's like, what
Mm-hmm.
am I longing for? Like, why do I feel so seduced and alert? Like, do I feel, is it a sexual energy? Is it just is it soul, and is it just the depth? But it was all of it. It was all and nothing. It was just massive, and it's gone now. So well,
Yeah.
actually I still have this when I think of her.
Yeah, I don't think it goes away when you
But it
uh
involves us.
yeah.
Yes.
This reminds me. So I think we're slipping into the gift here. I just want to read this because it's so relevant to what you're talking about. If you Let's say this essence in turn is so wonderful that you find yourself wanting to experience more of it. It's like, how
Yeah.
could there be enough? You have found the secret of all human desire. Once it is purified into its natural state of divine longing, it becomes the very fuel that returns you to your true center of being.
Mm.
So it's like the word purification. It's like there are impurities in the desire itself because the impurities are the attachments. Like, okay, this is now sexual, or this is now a friendship that'll last years, or this is now a business partnership, or this is whatever it is. It's like the impurities are your mind trying to attach an outcome or an expectation and then removing it. It's like when we're in that charged, call it magnetized state, it's actually like a remembering of the divine within us and the divine within them, something that's being reflected, pulling us towards it.
Uh-huh.
So crazy.
And are you out of your mind to trust something you can't explain?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's innate, there's this trust. to it. Once you start learning how you process it and how you feel it, and it's almost like you learn, let go, let go, let go. And it's in your favor if you let go and you just release it, release it, release it. And you start like almost like dying for it and laughing, dying laughing. Because it's like, why would I let go of such a beautiful
Yeah.
potential that I have with you? But when we are out of our mind, you and I love how you misuse this so much. It's like, out of your mind, you have to
Yeah.
do this to control it. And I'm like, we're actually supposed to be out of our mind to feel this and not control it and do complete opposite.
Hmm.
It's comic. It's comic. It takes my breath away every time because it is such a hard thing to do and but it's possible.
Hmm.
Practice.
Mm.
What?
Yeah. It's like we get into it's interesting that you bring up the Osho book because they're techniques, right? It's like techniques for presence.
What is coming up right now inside of you? What's happening?
I don't know. I'm feeling like
Blissed
a
out.
wildness, you know?
Tell me more.
This is a very strong gene key for me. And I think I mentioned before, like I'm like, yeah, and 33. And you're like, what's 33? And I'm like, I don't know. I like the number. And I didn't even know it. I didn't like read ahead or anything, but I got in here and I'm reading it. And I'm like, it's okay. But as you're revealing things for me and in me, I'm like, I'm buzzing. It's a, it's a very strong body sensation experience. And then that's why I said, like, I just want to hug you right now. Cause like, I don't know what else to do
Yeah.
with it as we talk deeper about the presence. And it's like, you go a little bit deeper. And then if you can let go, you go a little bit deeper. If you can let go again. And so I'm just like riding this wave. It honestly feels like I'm on a wave,
Hmm.
or it's like part of you's part of you's aware that you're kind of floating, but then part of you's being guided along this experience that's totally bigger than you. Like you're part of a wave, which is a manifestation of this ocean, which is a manifestation of the earth and the tide of the moon, and which is a manifestation of the whole solar system, and then how it's moving through the galaxy. Like, it's just explosion. Very tantric. I mean, we put labels. You're asking me to talk. I'll just, I'll go down a rabbit trail, talk for an hour straight, and you'll be like, what did you say? And I don't even know what I said.
And it's interesting. And this is why I think I was so into Tantra because it is experiencing itself through you right now and
Hmm.
through me. And you're literally witnessing it. Witness
Hmm.
consciousness.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you're like, what? What?
Hmm.
There's no why, there's no how, there's no need for it. It's just what?
Hmm. It's awe. And I had this come up yesterday. We were visiting with people and talking about, like each of us have our own kids and they're kind of interacting. We're watching them, um, and then talking about nature. And this friend was relating, um, a mama bear will become inseminated and then she can just hold the fertilized eggs and then eat enough before hibernation to make it through hibernation. And then 2 months before she wakes from hibernation, her body will determine, are there enough calories to give birth?
Hmm.
And then in hibernation, her body will then like fertilize the eggs and start the process. And it's 2 months. And then she'll give birth in hibernation, wake up with suckling babies. And she
What?
was sharing this, and I'm like, yeah. She's like, it's incredible. And I'm like, yeah, nature is awesome. And Tantra is like this awareness of the awe. Like when we approach the world like babies, of everything is new, everything is potentially gone the next moment. We see it all for what it is. We're deeply present with it. We remove the impurities and it's just awe. It's like our mouths drop open and we're just in love with all of it. Do you feel
Yeah.
this? Yeah.
Yeah. In love with all of it. Um, like for the first time seeing the reality of who you are. And it's like so hard to explain. And this is where it's very it's totally and completely, absolutely unexplainable. But it's solely experiential. My mind just stops, right? It's almost like it goes up to that point and it cannot go any longer. It actually has a box that lives in, that's it. But this
Mm.
goes beyond. Okay, let's go back into the body. Let's come back into the present moment. And I want to ask you this. That he explains, okay. I keep just like I highlighted a lot of things here in the gift. Um, Let me just read what the gift was. I forgot. The gift was mindfulness. Okay. Okay. So when we're in a gift, we're not free of patterns, he explains. But we are engaged in a process, which I think just happened, uh, that an intense engage in the process where we realize our patterns when we are witnessing what is happening. And we're almost like becoming and taking leaps and moving forward, moving in evolution, expanding. So he goes, they're not in fact becoming any harder, but you are becoming more and more aware that you are asleep, which in turns makes you feel more and more uncomfortable. And here he explains these leaps, jumps, out of which we hit the sitting state, we hit such a bliss, and then we get pulled back down into it. Oops, truth. And then, but every CD becomes the next layer of the shadow. And then we are, as we evolve and expand, things get harder, but in a sense of more challenging, in a sense of more complex, in a sense of we have to now relearn another layer of language that we are talking to ourselves. It never, it actually never completes itself. It just evolves and evolves and evolves and evolves. What do you think about this
Mm.
or feel?
Um, I want to approach it with like metaphorically, and then maybe we can get more direct. Carly and I were talking about our nutrition and how difficult it's been to heal our gut from like sugary foods growing up and processed foods and all this stuff and our bodies. And for me specifically, I had a horrible diet up until 26 years old, you know, like potentially poisoning myself for a long period of time. And in like the clearing of it, like we have a very clean diet. We're having like probiotics and prebiotics and um, taking supplements, and we have no sugar, we have no processed food, like we're purifying. In that, we still have these moments of like, or these weeks where I'm like, my gut is totally wrecked. Like, geez, I just had one piece of cheese, and even a year ago, I could have quite a lot of cheese and it wouldn't do this to me. It's almost like in purifying, I'm becoming more sensitive. It's becoming more, it's almost the temptation is to say, well, this is making things worse, not better, because it's getting
Mhm.
harder and harder to get close to like the health that we're desiring. Um, and sorry, just a second. I got my little one. He's
Yeah.
okay, so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
He's at the door and he's just pulling me
Mm.
in a different direction. So yeah, and she was like, we were talking about, as you do, we talk about other people to try to find where we are in relation to like our experience of like, okay, our approach to health. And it's so easy to say like so much of the world is sick and they don't know it, or they're eating foods that are not helping them and they don't know it, and they're having like symptoms of inflammation, of pain, and it's because of the foods they're eating. And she's like, yeah, I just want to like wake up the world to this reality. And I was in a pretty contemplative state at the time, and I just said, um, it's better for most people, it's better to stay in a state of asleep. They don't want to wake up. Like most people don't want to wake up because as deep as this awareness can go, as deep as the presence can be, as beautiful as the experience of awe is, it's it comes with the the balancing force, which is like how difficult then to let go as you approach ecstasy with another person. How hard is it then to release your attachment to them or to that experience?
Mm.
So I use the metaphor of food because we this might sound like trite, but we have to let go of our desire to say, well, because we're doing so much better than 99.9% of the world, we should be feeling amazing all the time. And it's like, that's not, we're attaching comparison to try to find our desired state, but in reality, it's just about what you're currently experiencing and what you need and your healing process, and that takes time. And with mindfulness, yeah, it's rich, but it's also raw. And so you're removing the layers that protect you. You're removing the aspects of yourself that served as defense mechanisms for the rawness of life. Like if you're going to feel the bliss, then you also are going to feel the pain, and they're not
Yeah.
separate, right? So you're awakening to the duality as a witness, and Yeah, it's tricky.
And also, if I may just extend to that one, it sounds like when you want to heal the entire world, there's this healing inside that is happening, but also a suffering that inside is happening for the world. And the world has nothing to do with it, actually. It's just the process of feeling your own suffering to it. And he writes it here. That's the mindfulness, right? So a mind wants to come in and say, hey, 99.9% of people are eating unhealthy, but how do you know? We actually don't know. And that's the truth. The reality is that we would never know is that true or not. But the mind is going to think that it is true. But what you actually are doing is like you're, he writes it here very nicely. When you can objectively view your thoughts, your feelings, your passions, and desires, your own subjectivity, only then can you create art from them. And it actually has nothing to do with others. And mind wants and needs to attach. It's our survival mechanism. We can only survive when we attach. We attach to everything around us. But the reality is, like, I'm actually suffering because I feel that might be my case. That no matter how much I'm eating healthy, I'm actually really also not healthy. And that is raw and unfiltered checkpoint. And no matter how much I want to be intimate with you and I want to touch the end of it all, I'm actually also afraid to lose you because you can bring me there. No, you're just there with me.
Hmm.
But I can bring myself there. And I am in fear of losing myself in it, actually, rather than losing you. You're just mirroring this for me. You are almost opening me to feel what it feels to suffer if I don't eat healthy. To feel it, to freak out. You're opening me
Hmm.
opening me my experience of freaking out if I don't eat garlic for breakfast, right? So it's like I can't do it, but it's actually facing that exact fear. It's like, wait a minute, but will I really die if I just have a McDonald's for lunch, right? What will happen? What are the odds that I will? And I am doing everything in my power to coach, right? So this is why I'm like always like I can't coach anybody anymore. Like at this point in my life, I can't because I'm actually self-coaching. Like,
Hmm.
wait a minute, who like can I really tell you this is the liberation point or this is the technique you need to do? It's like you get there, I trust it. But wait a minute, why am I coming up with this? Why do I have this urge to teach? Maybe I need to maybe I need coaching. And I
Hmm.
actually got to the same exact points like holy shit, I actually need someone to walk me through all these feelings. I can't do it alone.
Hmm.
I need someone to coach me because I have this massive desire to go and coach. So for example, I really want to create a space. I am dying to create a space and teach the experience, but I'm deadly afraid of it. And I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, I'm afraid that nobody will show up. The desire to do it actually brings up so much more. I'm afraid
Yeah.
that nobody will sign up. I'm afraid that people will kind of think that it's such a bullshit that I'm talking about the love from a different perspective. Like, who cares for love? Like, I'm worried about my divorce right now and the world
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
falling apart. Like, are you serious? Ha ha, boo hoo. It's like, but that is what is happening. And that's I don't know. What do you think about it? What do you and I'm just gonna give you this one where I wrote bam. If you are scientific genius and you know everything, I know everything, you need to be able to think with your feelings and
Yeah.
feel your thoughts.
Yeah.
Ouch. Think with your feelings and feel your thoughts. And that is not in anybody else's body other than in our own body.
Hmm. Yeah. And I think the next sentence was, this is why these people have trouble taking credit for the realizations, for the genius that they're bringing into the world because it's just a state of witnessing that's happening.
It's
That
not yeah.
yeah, it's not attached to them. So they're like, I don't yeah, I don't need a medal or a recognition for it because it's literally not something I brought in. It's just something that happened through me.
Yeah.
And that
Tantra.
thinking through feeling, feeling through thinking. The thinking through feeling, well, this might be the process, right?
Okay.
The
Let's
exact process.
go.
The thinking through feeling, I'm like intuiting. I'm like, yeah, I have I have many experiences I can recall where I know what that is. The feeling through thinking, I'm like, okay, what does that look like? I don't
Feel
know.
your thoughts.
Yeah. Do you have an example?
Yeah, I'll give you right away the example. How did you feel when you realized in your mind and you had a thought of, oh my God,
Uh,
she needs my help?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
How did you feel?
Well, I felt desire.
What else?
Desire is a pretty strong, strong feeling.
How did you feel when you thought that she is pulling away?
Um, yeah, I feel like desire is like the parent feeling, and then there's like, okay, sadness, longing, heartbroken. I'm sure there was a blip of anger. Um, yeah,
And was this in your mind or was this in your body?
body.
Where? Where did you feel anger?
Like my neck, shoulders, throat area, constricting around the heart.
And how did heart breaking felt? How did you feel heart break?
Mm, just like physical depression, just like sinking heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, and do you agree? What do you think about the sentence? Heart breaks in the mind. It actually never breaks.
Yeah, true.
Because if I'm it's like you explained it so well, it's like almost like depressive depression of it, almost like a deflation
Yeah,
of
deflation's a
the
good word.
energy. And it's not that did it, how long did it last? The deflation.
Um, it's tricky because I work through it over probably like 12 hours and kind of I'd go in, come out,
Mhm.
And it wasn't until I went in enough to feel it, to like acknowledge and feel and witness and just be real with it and then just give it space. So maybe when I got there, it was, it's like the getting there takes time. When you're there, when you get into it, fully witnessing, it's instantaneous,
Yeah.
right?
And how long? Yeah.
Where you're
So
depressed,
yeah.
like the depression, deflation, and then you acknowledge it, and then you're like, wait, the heart's still beating. Like we're continuing on.
Yeah. And how long did the mind hold the story of heartbreak?
Right. the 12 hours. And that's what's interesting is I'm like, I see progress because I'm like, this would have been a month before or weeks. And I feel that the process of getting back to witnessing mindfulness and awareness is more rapid. I think that happens when we are in practice of it, right? But like we're talking about the challenge of becoming raw,
Mhm.
it's like it's almost in some sense looking back, I'm like, it took a month, but it wasn't as painful.
Exactly. So it's all in the mind. And
Yeah.
mind is going to hold you there for a long time, longer than actually it hurts.
Hmm.
So to live this gift, you have to be able to think with your feelings. So the timeline of the entire thinking of a month actually shrinks in just a couple of waves throughout the day.
Hmm.
Daylight, not even 24 hours.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
feel your thoughts.
And
Wow.
this is why like um
Mm.
with the mystics, you see like, sometimes you'll get people that come up that are like, oh, I'm gonna see if I can trigger Osho. And they'll say that, and the crowd's like, oh, like you can feel the tension. And then you can just see like an immediate, like, there's no gap. It's just an instant state of witnessing. And the response is just, there's no attachment. And so,
By Osho.
yeah, or any mystic, right? Any like, or not even like to call someone enlightened, right? But we can have an enlightened states where you go through your day and your ability to step into awareness is very present. And then you have a triggering moment and you instantly like can see reaction, can think about the feeling or feel the thoughts and then move past that back into awareness.
Can't wait. But we can't rush to get there. You can't. And he closes it, and I was kind of like, it goes, you simply have to have faith in your own storyline. He finishes the CD. This is also why it is so rare for humans to attain these states. There is no one to follow. The path is
Mm-hmm.
virgin and wild. And when your revelation finally dawns, it does so without you even being there.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like you can't rush to get to states like this. And we just get chills when I think about it. It's like, and I think often find myself like, this is the chance, this is the lifetime to do it. And I was like, girl, no, who knows? I will never know if this is. All I can do is just keep coming back and practicing. And I have like good 40, 50 years more left with it. So,
Who knows?
it reminds me on that one. A freedom you're seeking is the freedom you lose. The more you seek, the more imprisoned you are and not free.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm. Did um did the flood, the mythology of the flood, did that pull anything up for you?
I mean, fear. Well, first, I have nightmares with tsunamis.
Oh,
Um,
really?
oh yeah, repetitive nightmares. Did I tell you this ever?
Well, I think we talked about it because I've had them, and I think we at one point we both had like a tsunami dream or a big wave dream. But I
Mhm.
don't think you mentioned that you're still having them.
Actually, rarely now.
Hmm.
But when he wrote down, and he actually said it somewhere, here, it's a tsunami of consciousness. And I just had like a freeze in my body when I even read that word, tsunami of consciousness. Then I thought, I was like, okay, I had them very frequently in my early age.
Mhm.
And then I didn't have them for a long time. I mean, maybe a year. But when they happen, often something happens consequentially
Mhm.
afterwards. And now I have them. I'm no longer participating in the tsunami. I'm actually watching them from afar,
Mhm.
which I thought, because, and I never could find the meaning of it. I have asked all over again, what does the dream represent? And everything and everyone would say it's emotions, like you're letting go of emotions. But this one, it's just a new perspective. Maybe it is the flooding of states of like new waves of consciousness, new layers that I
Mhm.
am coming in. So I don't know. What did you think about the mythology?
Yeah, I love that. You're relating it back to dreams because when I have a dream of big waves or tsunami, it's usually a sense of loss of control.
Mm.
And the flooding is like, we think it's destruction and death, but it's actually like you're being submerged. Everything is being totally the totality that we talked about before, submerged in, it could be the emotions, could be the feelings, or it could be the consciousness itself. Some deeper level of awareness is occurring or is about to occur. And I get the often my dreams are premonitions that happen like within 24 hours. So I'll have a dream and I'm like, today's gonna be interesting.
Nice.
Um, Surprised I didn't have one last night because this podcast has been really awesome.
Mm. Ooh, ooh. Mhm.
Yeah. Firstly, so he says, the consciousness within form always has a storyline to follow. The trick is to fall in love with your own story and follow it without holding anything back. And I just want to interject real quick because earlier when we're talking about the magnetism of another and like the attachment and the desire, and you reminded me that it's some potential within you. It's just something that you're feeling. It's not anything to do with them. And he says two things are then assured. Firstly, you will arrive at the story's end. And secondly, your own story will be utterly unique and unlike anyone else's. This is why it can be so distracting for you to hear someone else's story about how they attained an enlightened state or what disciplines or teachings they followed in order to reach that state. The truth is that nothing you do or don't do changes when and how you reach the ultimate. And it's pretty interesting that he used the word faith here. You have to have faith in your own storyline. I
Hmm.
think what shows up too in like the desire to attach to another or the desire to like be the guide or be the coach that happens with me. It's it's I'm exporting my faith to someone else. I'm attaching my potential based on someone else's behavior. It's easier that way, right? And recognizing something I'm seeing in you or how I'm feeling is pulling something up in me, and it's meant for me to sit with and find or
Mhm.
allow to blossom. It's bringing that faith back home into your body.
Mhm. In your temple, the only one you have at this time.
Yeah.
And in this moment, it's just so humbling.
Hmm.
Like I wrote the other day, last 2 weeks ago, like how arrogant we are to think we know what we're doing, think we know where we're going, what we're fighting for, what we want to attain, the states we want to attain. It's arrogance. It's like I operate on that majority of my time.
Hmm. Me too.
But when reality hits you in those blips and this like small like it's humbling to see, to almost like see yourself trying really hard and not willing, not being able most of the time to relax
Hmm.
into experience of what is happening, right? It's like yes, I am right now in LA in my apartment. I am not in a war zone elsewhere. Like I am here. And holy shit, I'm missing out so much around me because I'm there. I'm with that person. And I'm actively causing myself suffering where I
Hmm.
actually don't need to, right? So much like so humbling and so
Raw.
patient and raw. And yes, and it's almost like you can't help but not to love yourself when you recognize that. And it almost like forgive yourself right away for not knowing better at that
Hmm.
moment and really trying and doing your best to just learn your ways, who you are, and how to face you and yourself only. And then out of which you have to come up with, you need to liberate your unique gifts. And it's like, but I love this one. This one, I loved it.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you feel now after
Uh,
silence and after this talk?
I feel restored.
Good.
How about you?
I feel good. I really feel good. I feel very loving.
Hmm.
I'm in love, right? So in love with how we created this, like in love with the presence of it, and
Hmm.
I'm loving it. Though I need to let go of it now.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's so good. And I'm like, okay, I need to go and walk the dog and like do the ugh, fine. I
Yeah.
just failed the test, but yeah,
Well,
thank you.
find love right where you are. And that's just the reminder. Love is right where you are.
You are love. We are
Mm.
love. Wow. Wow. Do you feel completed?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk soon.
Bye bye.
Ciao.
I will text you before next talk.
You don't have to.
I want to.
Free flow. Okay. Ciao.
Bye bye.